Hey there, this is Reality Marble, here to pontificate another half-formed opinion into the bowels of the internet because I'm trying to remember how to edit videos, and I'm kind of sick of the common thinking that holds up subtlety as some kind of ideal quality for writing good characters. I don't much like subtle characters, and in this video I might as well try to explain why. So in service of that, I'm going to show you a roughly 10-second clip from The Godfather Part 2 that isn't subtle at all, but gives us a lot of room to infer things about the characters and their world, and as such gives us greater insight into our protagonist.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
So just how much can we infer from this maybe 10 seconds of film that isn't explicitly shown to us? Well, 1, the man in the boat is a Christian who feels he has sinned. 2, that man gets shot. And 3, the man in the room is responsible and feels guilty for the shooting. Now, this scene beats you over the head pretty hard with these points. One man is literally giving a prayer for sinners, and the other physically hangs their head in shame after the gunshots. These ideas are clearly just told to the audience with no additional ambiguity or nuance to them. However, in being unsubtle about these two characters, it creates an idea about the man in the room. The man in the room is a sinner because he killed a penitent man and feels ashamed about it. Now, this is subtext in the scene, and it's born from complexity we could only obtain by reading and understanding the two very unsubtle ideas about these two men. On the other hand, let's look at a 10-second clip which does pretty much the opposite of the one we just watched from the film The Revenant. This scene is extremely subtle. There's no music, only diegetic wind noise and a deliberate close-up of a character's face. It's a relatively long shot with no cutaways or breaks from the experience. Now, what meaning is in this scene that isn't explicitly shown to us? 1, that man is cold because he's shivering. 2, that man is disoriented because of the blurring on the edge of the frame. And 3, that man is cognizant of the audience, maybe because he looks into the camera. There's not really an explicit point of view, but let's run with that. Now, when we put these two ideas together, like we did with the Godfather scene, we get what? 1, this dude's cold and disorientation makes him able to break the fourth wall. 2, this dude's disorientation comes from being able to break the fourth wall. Or 3, this dude is cold, disoriented, and can break the fourth wall with no real connection between these ideas. Now, the subtlety in this scene gives us a lot of potential answers, but none of these answers actually give us any insight into his character. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of aesthetic weight behind this clip. It's very evocative, and it's certainly not meaningless in the context of the film it's from, but in its subtlety, it ends up not giving us much about our character. So basically, subtlety is not complexity when it comes to characterization. At best, subtlety gives us a void to imprint upon a character. But if you do decide to use subtlety as a device in a scene, you lose some meaning. If your goal is to create a complex character, you cannot simply be subtle and think that that characterizes them. Subtlety is a device with both an upside and a downside, and shouldn't be talked about as some kind of formal ideal for writing characters. So yeah, that's my video. Cool.